So hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Veronica and today I have another rebuild for you. So here is the house. It's freshly from the gallery. So if I set all of my funds to zero, then if I sell something, I sell it for the same price, I can buy it later. So that is like a pro tip if you want to renovate a house with exactly the same budget. And this time we are renovating this base game study home in our study home area in Willow Creek, our lovely one which we all know, which we all use all the time or used all the time because I didn't use this area like in a while. And let us get started, I think, with renovating this house because what I don't like is that you see how dark it is in here. We have like only one single ceiling light, and that is pretty much it. Like we don't have any more ceiling lights in this house. So I'm just gonna sell all of these lights because anyway I'm gonna use different ones. I hate this mirror. I'm not using that anymore. Toilet paper in a starter home is such a stretch, so no, we are not doing that in here as well. I'm gonna store all of the plumbing we had. I'm gonna store this stuff because it still can be usable. And what else I don't like about this house is this weird kitchenette because it kind of creates like two hallways in here. It's such a waste of space. And this table I'm gonna sell, and I'm gonna store all of our kitchen stuff because it's still reusable. Fire alarm, do not worry about that. A TV, but I'm gonna sell this table and this bookshelf just because I don't like them. And a second thing I do not like about this house is a wall height. So we'll have a short wall height in here. That is like my only problem with all the houses in this area. And I'm gonna sell all of the windows on the sides and in the back so that I don't have to worry about them when I'm redoing the floor plan. And about this part, I kind of like this porch. It's on a bigger side, of course, like the usual they do in here, but I want to make it smaller because I don't think that we need that big of a porch in here. Next thing I'm gonna do is remove the underside of the stairs because that is a waste of money, and I'm gonna remove all of the landscaping because as you see we are getting some money from that as well. And next thing I'm gonna do is just the usual. I'm not using this terrain paint. That is too much for me. I'm gonna leave this trash can where it is. I'm not moving that. And I do not like now how this door clips up. So in the base game, we do not have like these exact similar doors in a short wall height. So I might switch it to something like that. That was a fancy door. I can leave this door, but I do not want to leave this door. So I might pick similar one, but smaller one. Looks kind of the same, but it is different. And as for all the floor plan, I'm just gonna remove what we have in here. I think I can rebuild it all. The outside for now stays the same as it is, as in all of these houses. I do not rebuild like the whole outside, but you see how this whole house is like a huge box, and that is another thing I do not really like about this house. But what I was thinking about, what we can have for the floor plan, I think that we can have like a tiny kitchen in here so that we have a wall right in here, a bathroom right from the kitchen, like not from the kitchen, but maybe here we'll have a kitchen, here we'll have like a tiny dining area, in here we can have like some sort of living area. Right here I can make like this weirdish looking thing that so that it looks kind of like a hallway, but it's not completely a hallway. This way we can afford like a completely functional kids bedroom, and also we can afford like completely functional parents bedroom, and maybe kids bedroom can be like even a little bit bigger. And now what I'm gonna do is buy cheaper floorings. I'm gonna use the same colors we have already in here because I'm not inventing something new. And as for the wall colorings, I'm gonna use cheaper ones as well. I'm gonna leave these yellow wallpapers we had, but I'm gonna pick it in the cheaper colors. And as for the windows, I'm gonna place back the same windows we had in here before. I think I'm gonna stick them like in the middle of a couple of areas so that this way we have windows kind of symmetrical all the way around the house. And I know that it looks silly when I place it like that, and the house now is so much smaller, like it's literally micro home, like almost a micro home now. But I'm not planning on having a huge kitchen in here, and I'm not planning on having like a huge, large, fancy house in here as well. So we can sacrifice some luxury looking stuff to get something that looks cheap but is a bit more practical to have. That must be what we'll have for the shelf. Back to the exterior. You know what I wanted to do? Replace these railings, replace the fences we have, because the ones we had before were freaking expensive and I do not like that. Now I think it doesn't look worse. Like, look at that. It doesn't look worse. It still looks good. And for the foundation, I think I'm gonna do the same I did with all the houses. We'll have brick foundation in here. I think it looks better than just plain concrete foundation. It looks at least a bit more expensive this way. And I'm gonna stick the same columns in all the edges because it is the only house from all of these houses where we had columns in here. We did not have columns in here like in this house and not in this house as well. And I'm gonna replace the stair maybe to the blue one so that it matches all of our railings and stuff. And I'm gonna recolor the floor in the front porch like to this white. And yeah, now the stairs needs to be white because otherwise it doesn't match as well. And I think I'm gonna stick here some kind of a bush. And as for the exterior, again, I think I can have like something like that. And maybe this is the only house where we can afford that, because here we have like a huge amount of money for the house we have in here. And I think I'm gonna stick all the furniture we had in the house before back to where it was. We didn't have a second bedroom in here, but I made that, so now I'll have to struggle with that. And yeah, I'm not placing the cheapest stuff in here, but I think that we can have a desk area in the kids' bedroom so that it's a bit more logical looking. And yeah, I'm using the same trick again and again, and I will not stop talking about that. But if you did not know, this is dining table. You can stick a computer on top of it, and it will cost you much cheaper than if you place the desk that looks exactly the same, like almost exactly the same. Look at this desk. Look at this dining table. They are similar. They are the same thing. That I'm sticking this dining table. I'm not wasting my money on the desk. So that's what I'm doing here. And I think I can place a bed like that, and I'm gonna stick the desk in there. This way I think I can spread our doors and we'll be able to place a TV in here, and maybe our dining area will go under these windows. So for the dining, I might buy this small table, or I can buy this dining table, the same one I've already used as a desk. And I think I'm gonna use mainly brown color in here around the house. I think it's gonna match with itself a bit better. The tiny thing that I need to do right away is place lights everywhere. And now this house is much better lit than it was before. For the kitchen, I'm gonna make a small kitchen in here, but we'll have our cabinets like that. I think that we'll have two. That's pretty enough for us. We can have a fridge in here. We can have a stove kind of snuck in the corner so that it's a bit hidden. And as for the bathroom, like nothing unusual. We are just gonna have a sink, we are gonna have a shower, we are gonna have a toilet, and don't forget about the fire alarm in the kitchen. I kind of hated that the window was not centered with the sink, so I'll have to scoot it over. And that means that we are gonna have a window in the bathroom. Maybe I will be even able to afford a curtain, but not now, not yet. And as for more chairs, these chairs will go for our dining area. We are gonna use the same couch we had already. I can switch it all around a bit. Oh, it looks weird anyway. I would really want to stick the dining table like this and place the couch like oppositely, but I cannot do that. I think that I have an idea what I can do about that. I think that I can just stick the TV up here like that, or I can place it like this so that I don't have to be worried about centering the couch and the dining table. And this way I'm gonna use the same dining table but up on this wall. I know that it's somewhat of a stretch, like it's a really tiny space we are having in here, but I can move it all around a bit. And I know that it's like right in the corner. It's not the best looking idea of mine, but that is not a bad looking idea anyway. So I might do it like that. I might stick here something for a divider maybe, but we'll have like this weird area in here, and I'm not sure that I like the way it looks. You know what I think about? I'm gonna stick the couch in here. I'm gonna sell one of the dining chairs. I'm gonna leave the rest free for me, and I'm gonna buy a smaller dining table because with the big one, it doesn't lay out nicely. It doesn't at all. Like this way, it doesn't look that good. I know that, but it doesn't look as bad. And this way, we can even afford some kind of a bookshelf in here so that it looks a bit more fun. I can even make it like this blue weird thing, but I will better just buy this one. That means that at least we have like some walking space around. We can extend the kitchen so that we can maybe place some cabinets again this wall, and we can place one additional in here. But I'm not gonna do that because I'm trying to make this house as cheap as I can, because I want to place here the most I can. So I'm using cheap wallpapers, I'm using cheap furniture, so that probably in the end I will be able to place here more furniture and more stuff to do around the house. Because first of all, as you might remember, this is the starter home. Starter homes look really sad, most of them by default. And I'm trying to make it look a bit better so that it doesn't look as sad. And at least now you see we have like a proper kitchen and not the kitchen knock somewhere like in the very middle of the house where we have no windows, where it's all dark and gloomy. Let us go to the bedrooms now. We can afford a nightstand. I'm gonna use, I don't know what swatch, maybe this plain one, the plainest one. In here we can use this pink one. I'm gonna buy another table, night table in here. Maybe we can have some flowers everywhere. We can actually afford a computer in this house. That is a rare occasion for us. But we can afford a computer this time, so that is good. I don't think that we can afford much for every single bedroom in here, and I think I'm gonna make it green. I like it a bit better. And as it's maybe kids or teens bedroom, I can stick here an easel so the kid does have something to do. I'm not gonna stick a lot, of course, because I'm not sure that I can afford that. And maybe it was like really kids' bedroom, so we'll have here a blur fee. And for every single bedroom, I think I will try to maybe embrace some kind of a color scheme. So this one is gonna be mostly green, this one is gonna be like mostly white or brown. That looks a bit gloomy, but I kind of like that. And for the colors of the walls, oh, this brown looks so ugly that I kind of like that. Oh, this one looks even worse. I'm sorry, I'm not using that. I think I'm gonna go for beige in here and for light green in this bedroom. Like, we are not having a lot of decor around, but at least we have some stuff going on. In here I can place a tiny plant on our dining table. I can place a bigger one up here. I can place a tiny bookshelf up here so that at least it's something to look at. And I'm gonna leave maybe this area a bit empty, and I think that as for decor, I can even afford a rug in this like reddish color, and then I can recolor the couch as well, maybe to something a bit more neutral. And I can have another plant up here. Doesn't that look nice? Doesn't that look cozy? Doesn't that look all cute? Doesn't it? For me, it does. So I'm gonna use it anyway. I would probably buy here a coffee table, but I think it's gonna be kind of a stretch for this house. I don't want to place any kind of like really decor into the bathroom because I think it's gonna be a bit excessive. What I can do is place a mirror in there because that's what I forgot about. And now that is a finished bathroom. As for this bedroom, I thought that I might stick here this slide. I know that I do that all the time. And by this slide, I'm gonna stick this plant. It's not that huge and it still leaves the area functional. And this plant goes up here. And as for this area, I would maybe place here like this kind of mirror, but that is not the cheap of a mirror, but I might still leave it in here. Down here, a flower, grave. Of course, I'm not doing that. Oh, a duck. That's gonna be a fun touch. Why don't I place a duck in here? I did that in the last build. I can do it again. Always a spot for a duck in the house. That's what I'm thinking about it. And I think that the interior must be mostly done. Now what I'm left to do is figure out some of the landscaping because we have like quite a big lot up here. And I'm not sure that this lot is gonna be filled in the end. Like, I'm gonna stick a tree in a couple of areas. And as for the front, I think that I'm not gonna do much in here. I'm just gonna maybe stick a couple of bushes. And I like them because they are big, so they are covering a lot of stuff. Maybe some problems we might have around here, like this gap. I'm gonna stick here a flower. And maybe we can even afford a couple of these tiny ones. We can have some on this edge so that at least something like going on in the front of the house. I know that I left this porch like completely empty, and maybe it would be wise of me to place something in here, but if I was playing in this house, I think that in some kind of a close perspective, I would place here maybe a couple of planters, what I can do now after I sold a chair inside. I can place one at least, so that's at least something. I can sell these flowers because they are doing nothing out here. And I can place here a cute bush so that at least we have something going on in our front porch. Don't you think that it looks cute? And now pretty much all that is left is some terrain paint. And that was, I would say, an easy one. Maybe because that was not one of the cheaper ones as we had previous to. I think that this one is a bit more expensive than what we had before. So that was like really easy. Like, so I'm gonna stick that on my gallery. It's gonna be called Daisy Hovel Renovation. You can find it by my Gloverant hashtag, just like my YouTube name. It has 2 bedrooms opposed to the one it had before. It has 1 bathroom, and it's on the gallery now. Should I give you a quick tour? So as on the outside, now we have a slight overhang on all of the roofs we have around. We have a bit more windows, or at least it looks like that. We have a tree, which we didn't have before, but we have had like millions of flowers. And now we have much less of them, but we have some bushes in the front, so it still doesn't look as boring. We have a trash can outside one. We have indoors one as well. As you see, this house is a bit smaller than it was in the first place. It was like much longer before, but you still can expand it, of course, if you really want to. But let us go inside. In the front porch, we do not have anything to do except for this planter. But to use this planter, you'll need to delete this flower. I'm gonna place it back for now. But you mind that this planter is not functional the way it looks now. If you go inside, on the left, we have this boring looking kitchen. It's completely functional. We have a stove in here. We have a cabinet where you can cook. We have a sink in here. We have a fridge. We have a trash can. We have a fire alarm, so it's fire safe. In here, on the other side, we have a dining table. It's pretty tiny one, but if you can afford that, you can place additional chair in here, or you can make this dining area bigger if you really want to. In here we have some kind of living area. In the living area we have TV which we can watch, we have books which we can read, more books which we can read, and we have a couch where we can sit and some flowers just to look at. In the toilet we have nothing at all except for necessities like toilet, sink, mirror, shower. That's it. In primary bedroom we do not have much as well, but we have a flower, we have a lamp, we have nightstand, we have more flowers, and most important, a duck. We have a duck in here and a mirror. So you can still build your charisma skill up. And if you go to the kids' bedroom, in here we have a blarfy, we have a bed, we have a computer, we have an easel. So it's like if you remove the bed from here, it's a skill building room. And if you remove a bed, maybe you can place a chess table instead of it. So you can still use it as 1 bedroom house. So it's still quite useful. And that is pretty much it. And if you really want to expand this house, you can go like make some additions to the back. You can scoot this house on the lot. You can make a bigger kitchen if you want to. So you have some room for renovations. Like even if you extend all of this area 1 tile to the front, you will have so much more space for kitchen, living, and dining area. So this house still has some room for renovations, even though it's a bit smaller than it was before. But this is pretty much the build. We have some skill building stuff, and it is maybe the first house of these all three where I did place an easel. So that is a win for me. I would say that is a win. And that is pretty much it. If you like videos like that, you can subscribe to my channel. And I think that this must be a goodbye.